Geometry is our fifth unit of this term. Dear students, in the last session, we have learnt about angles formed by a transversal. Today, we are going to see about angles formed by a transversal with parallel lines. Here, these two angles are linear pair of angles. Here, since they are linear pair of angles, their sum is equal to 180 degree. Therefore, here let us take x degree angle. This angle, when we take this angle as x degree angle, and the sum of these two angles is equivalent to 180 degree. That is, x degree plus 130 degree is equal to 180 degree, which gives x degree as 50 degree. So here it measures 50 degree. As we know, vertically opposite angles are equal in measure. So here, observe these two lines makes the vertically opposite angles. So here if it is 130 degree, and here this angle is also measures 130 degree, because vertically opposite angles are equal in measure. So if it is 130 degree, and here what about this angle? This angle is also measures 50 degree, because these angles are linear pair of angles. So 130 degree plus x degree is equal to 180 degree, which gives x degree as 50 degree. So here this angle is 130 degree, this angle 50 degree, and here this angle is 130 degree, and here it is 50 degree. Similarly, we can find the angles by using linear pair of angles and vertically opposite angles. The same thing will happen here, and the same measurement of angles will appear. Similar is the rest of the examples given here. From the above activity, we can conclude that when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of corresponding angles are equal. When two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of corresponding angles, so each pair of corresponding angles are equal. So now students, observe the alternate interior angles in each figure. So alternate interior angles are two angles in the interior of the figure on opposite sides of the transversal. So here 30 degree and 30 degree are, here two angles are alternate interior angles, and both lying between the interior of the parallel lines and on the opposite, alternate it means opposite sides of the transversal. One pair of angles are measured and found equal. So here it is 30 degree and here 30 degree. So measure the remaining three pairs of angles and check. So now we are going to check and find the measurement of other remaining three pairs of angles. So now when we take this part, so this part here, these angles are linear pair of angles. The adjacent, the next to next angles that are supplementary lead us to a pair of angles that lie on the straight line. The pair of angles are called linear pair of angles. So here this angle and this angle are linear pair of angles. Since they are linear pair of angles, their sum is equal to 180 degree. Therefore, when we take this unknown angle as x degree, then we can easily find the unknown by using the sum of x degree plus 130 degree is equal to 180 degree, which gives x degree as 150 degree. That is 180 minus 30 is 150 degree. So here this angle measures 150 degree. And here also the same thing. So these two angles are linear pair of angles and this measures 30 degree. The remaining thing is subtracted from 180 degree, that is 180 minus 30 gives 150, which is the measurement of this angle. So here this is 150 degree, 30 degree, and here it measures 30 degree and here it is 150 degree. So similar is the rest of the examples given here. From the above activity we can conclude that when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of alternate interior angles are equal. When two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of alternate interior angles are equal. Now, let us see the activity. Observe the marked alternate exterior angles in the each figure. So, alternate exterior angle, it means alternate exterior angles are angles that lie in the exterior of the figure on the opposite, alternate, it means opposite sides of the transversal, isn't it? 50 degree and 50 degree, it lies outside the figure, that is in the outside exterior region, and also which are in the opposite side of the transversal. So such angles are called alternate exterior angles. So both lying at the exterior of the parallel lines and on the opposite sides of the transversal. And here one pair of angles are measured and found equal. Here that is 50 degree and here it is also 50 degree. Measure the remaining three pairs of angles and check. So now we are going to measure the remaining three pairs of angles. So it is easy by using linear pair of angles. So here the adjacent angles that are supplementary lead us to a pair of angles that lie on straight line, lie on the straight line. The pair of angles are called linear pair of angles. So here these two angles are called linear pair of angles. So since they are linear, their sum is equivalent to 180 degree as we know already. Therefore, we can easily find the other angle of these linear pair of angles by equating the sum of these two angles to 180 degree. That is 50 degree plus x degree is equal to 180 degree, which gives x degree as 180 minus 50, which is 130 degrees. So students, here this angle is measures 50 degree and the remaining part of this linear pair measures 130 degree. So here also the same thing. This measures 50 degree and here it is 130 degree. And here this is similar is the rest of the examples given here. From the above activity, we can conclude that when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of alternate exterior angles are equal. When two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of alternate exterior angles are equal. Now observe the activity, and here observe the marked co-interior angles in each figure. So in each figure observe the co-interior angles, that is both lying inside, both lying between the interior of the parallel lines and on the same side of the transversal. One pair of angles are measured and found the sum to be 180 degree, that is 125 degree plus 55 degree gives 180 degree. So measure the remaining 3 remaining 3 pairs of angles and check. So now we are going to measure the remaining 3 pair of angles. So that is here by using linear pair of angles. When we take this angle as x degree, then since they are linear pair of angles, their sum is 180 degree. Therefore x degree plus 55 degree is equal to 180 degree, which gives x degree as 180 minus 55, which is equal to 125 degree. So this angle measures 125 degree. And here come to this part, and here 125 degree is given, and to find the another angle by using linearity. So x degree plus 125 degree is equal to 180 degree, which gives x degree as 55 degree. So students, here from this activity we can conclude that when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of interior angles lie on the same side of the transversal or supplementary. So this angle 55 degree and here it is 125 degree. The sum of these two angles is equal to 180 degree, and here this angle measures 125 degree and this angle measures 55 degree, and the sum of these two angles 55 degree plus 125 degree gives 180 degree. So which are supplementary. So we can conclude that when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of interior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. And now in this activity, here 120 degree and 60 degree, what about these two angles? These two angles lies outside the region and also on the same side. So these angles are called co-exterior angles, as we know already. So observe the marked co-exterior angles in each figure, both lying at the exterior of the parallel lines and on the same side of the transversal. One pair of angles are measured and found that they are supplementary, isn't it? 120 degree plus 60 degree, which is equal to 180 degree. So now measure the remaining three pairs of angles and check. So that is here, this one here it is linear. These two angles are linear pair of angles. That is, the adjacent angles that are supplementary lead us to a pair of angles that lie on a straight line. The pair of angles are called linear pair of angles. So here these two lines are linear pair of angles. Since they are linear pair of angles, their sum is equal to 180 degree. That is, we can easily find the unknown angle of these two linear pair of angles. That is, by using the sum x degree plus 120 degree is equal to 180 degree, which gives 180 minus 120, which is 60 degree. So the unknown unknown angle is here 60 degree. And here what about this? This part of linear pair of angles, here since they are in linear, these two angles are linear pair of angles, we can easily find the unknown angle by the sum x degree plus 60 degree is equal to 180 degree. That is 180 minus 60 is 120 degree. So students, here this angle is 120 degree and here it is 60 degree, and here 60 degree and here it is 120 degree, and by using the vertically opposite angles we can easily say that this is 120 and this is 60 degree, and here it is 120 and here it is 60 degree. So students, from the activity we can conclude that when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of exterior angles, so each pair of exterior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. So when we add 120 degree plus 60 degree, it gives 180, which means supplementary. That is, from the activity we can conclude that when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of exterior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. Now students, the region of intersecting lines. So here the region between two lines is called the interior. Everything else is the exterior. And here corresponding angles are angles on the same side of the transversal, where one angle is in the interior and the other one in the exterior. Alternate interior angles are two angles in the interior of the figure on opposite sides of the transversal. Alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles are angles that lie in the exterior of the figure on the opposite sides of the transversal. And here transversal, a line that intersects two or more lines at distinct points is called a transversal. Here AB is a transversal, N is a transversal. Here the lines cut by a transversal may or may not be parallel. Here T, the transversal T is a transversal for the parallel lines L and M, and here R is a transversal for non-parallel lines B and C. Parallel lines and transversal. So if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then each pair of corresponding angles is equal or congruent. Parallel lines and transversal, here alternate interior angles. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then each pair of alternate interior angles is equal. That is, alternate interior angles are equal. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then each pair of alternate exterior angles is congruent. Congruent, it means that alternate exterior angles are equal. And if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then each pair of same side interior angles is supplementary. That is, angle 4 plus angle 5 is equal to 180. Angle 3 and angle 6 is equal to 180. Here Angle 4 and angle 5, angle 3 and angle 6 are interior angles. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then each pair of same side exterior angles is supplementary. Here angle 1 plus angle 8 is equal to 180, angle 2 plus angle 7 is equal to 180 degree. And here angle 1 and angle 8, angle 2 and angle 7 are exterior angles, and the sum of these angles, angle 1 and angle 8 is 180, and the sum of angle 2 and angle 7 is equal to 180 degree. Now let us see example 5.8. Name the angle that corresponds to angle 1. Name the angle that is alternate interior angle to angle 3. Name the angle that is alternate exterior angle to angle 8. Name the angle that corresponds to angle 8. Name the angle that is alternate exterior angle to angle 7. Name the angle that is alternate interior to angle 6. So, observe the figure. Here, first one, name the angle that corresponds to angle 1. So, corresponds. So, that is, corresponds angles or angles on the same side of the transversal, where one angle is in the interior and the other one is in the exterior. So here angle 1 is in the exterior and angle 5 is in the interior, and also angle 1 and angle 5 are on the same side and on the left side. So we can say that the angle that corresponds to angle 1 is angle 5. And second one, name the angle that is alternate interior to angle 3. So alternate, it means opposite. So opposite. Alternate interior to angle 3. Interior, it means it lies between these two lines. So we have to concentrate in these 4 angles, and also it is alternate is given. So alternate means we have to see the opposite of this angle. Here it is angle 5. So the angle that is alternate interior to angle 3 is angle 5. Third one, name the angle that is alternate exterior to 8. So exterior, so we have to concentrate on 7, 1, 2, which are on the exterior region. So here, what about 7? So the 7, angle 7 is linear pair of 8. Linear pair of angles 7 and 8. So leave the angle 7. And here, what about 1? Angle 1 and angle 8 lies outside the lines, outside or exterior. So angle 8 and angle 1 are co-exterior angles. And come to the angle 2. Angle 2 and 8, which are lies exterior and also opposite to each other. So they are called as alternate exterior angles. So the angle that is alternate exterior to angle 8 is angle 2. And the fourth one, name the angle that corresponds to 8. Angle 8. So corresponds. So one angle lies inside the region and the other one lies exterior, in the exterior region. So the angle that corresponds to angle 8 is nothing but angle 4. And the angle, name the angle that is alternate exterior to 7. Alternate exterior. So exterior, it means the angles which lies in the exterior region, outside the region, outside these parallel lines. So 7, 8, 1, 2 are exterior angles, and 7 alternate, so opposite angles. So here 1 is opposite to 7, and also alternate exterior, and 1 is also lies in the exterior region. So we can say that the angle that is alternate exterior to angle 7 is angle 1. The angle that is alternate interior to angle 6, alternate, which means opposite, and also interior. Interior means in the inside the parallel lines. So here 6, 3, 4, 5 are the interior angles which lies in the interior region, and 6 and 4 are opposite to each other, and also 6 is alternate interior to angle 4. Angle 4 is alternate interior to angle 6. Write down the angle that corresponds to angle 1 is angle 5. The angle that is alternate interior to angle 3 is angle 5. The angle that is alternate exterior to angle 8 is angle 2. The angle that corresponds to angle 8 is angle 4. The angle that is alternate exterior to angle 7 is angle 1. Angle that is alternate interior to angle 6 is angle 4. Students, now let us see the example problem 5.9. Here, which angles are corresponding angle to B degree? What is the measure of B degree? Which angles have the measure 68 degree? Which angles have the measure 112 degree? Students, now our first question is, which angles are corresponding angles to B degree? So here, so first when we take this part that is L, M, N. So M and N are parallel lines, and L is the transversal of M and N. So here when we take this part, here B degree and 68 degree, F degree, A degree, G degree, H degree, C degree, I degree are the angles, or the 8 angles formed by these transversal. And also B degree and 68 degree. Observe the angles B degree and 68 degree. Here these two angles are on the same side, and also B degree is in the interior region or interior inside the figure, and 68 is in the outside region. So they are corresponding angles. Are you clear? So B degree and 68 degree are corresponding angles because they lies on the same side, and one is inside the region and the other one is outside the region. And if we take this part, here B degree, C degree, D degree, E degree are on the same side, and also here B degree is in the outside region between these parallel lines N and P. And also D degree, when we take D degree, it is inside the region. So outside the region and inside the region and on the same side, we can say that D degree and B degree are corresponding angles. So the corresponding angles to B degree are The one is 68 degree and the other one is D degree. Now the second question is, what is the measurement of angle B degree? So here students, we know that 68 degree and B degree are corresponding angles. And also from the activity, we know that when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, here M and N are parallel lines and here L is a transversal line. So when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of corresponding angles are equal. So 68 degree and B degree are corresponding angles. Since they are corresponding angles, they are equal. So B degree is equal to 68 degree. The measurement of B degree is 68 degree. Students, our third question is, which angles have the measure 68 degree? And here we know that 68 degree, B degree, D degree are corresponding angles. Since they are corresponding angles, they are equal. So B degree and D degree are equal to 68 degree. And what about G degree? So here we know that 68 degree and G degree are vertically opposite angles. So vertically opposite angles have the same measurement. So G degree is equal to 68 degree. And also for these vertically opposite angles B degree and I degree, since here B degree is 68 degree, simultaneously I degree is also equals the same measurement 68 degree. And here D degree is 68 degree, and since D degree and K degree are vertically opposite angles, the measurement of K degree is also 68 degree. So our answer is, the angles having measure 68 degree are B degree, D degree, G degree, I degree and finally K degree. Students, we know that here these angles 68 degree and F degree are linear pair of angles. So we know that how to find the angle F degree. So that is the sum of linear pair is 180 degree. So 180, 68 degree plus F degree is equal to 180, which gives F degree as 112 degree. So here F degree is 112 degree. Now H degree, J degree. So here what about these angles? Here H degree, J degree and F degree are corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are in equal measure. So here H degree and J degree is also measures the same angle as F degree, which is 112 degree. And also here by using vertically opposite angles are in equal measure. So that is here F degree and A degree are vertically opposite angles, and here the vertically opposite angle of H degree is C degree, and here vertically opposite angle of J degree is E degree. So since F degree, H degree, J degree are 112 degree, so the values of A degree, C degree and E degree is also 112 degree. So the angles having measure 112 degree are A degree, C degree, E degree, F degree, H degree and J degree. Write down the corresponding angles to B degree are D degree and 68 degree. The measure of B degree is 68 degree because B degree corresponds to 68 degree. The angles having measure 68 degree are B degree, D degree, G degree, I degree and K degree. The angles having measure 112 degree are A degree, C degree, E degree, F degree, H degree and J degree. Now students, example 5.10. Here L is parallel to M.
and that is L and M are parallel lines, and N is transversal to L and M. And here we have to find the values of X and Y. So now by using this transversal, we know that here Y and 2X are vertically opposite angles. So we know that vertically opposite angles are in equal measure. So we can equate Y and 2X, that is Y is equal to 2X because vertically opposite angles are equal. So, and then Y plus 4X is equal to 180 degree. So, here 4X and Y are interior angles and also they lie on the same side of the transversal N. And here we know that by the property, the sum of interior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal is supplementary. That is, the sum of these two values, these two angles is equal to 180 degree. That is, Y is equal to 4X is equal to 180 degree. So here we know that Y is equal to 2X. So substitute 2X plus 4X is equal to 180 degree. So 2X plus 4X is 6X is equal to 180 degree. So what is the value of X? 180 degree, the whole divided by, so here 6 becomes 1 by 6 on the other hand. So now cancelling 180 and 6, we get, it is 1 time in the denominator and in the numerator it is 30 times. So that is 30 degree. So the value of X is 30 degree. So and we know that what is Y? It is 2 into X. So we know that X is 30. So Y is equal to 2 into substitute X as 30 degree. So the value of Y is 60 degree. So X is equal to 30 degree and Y is equal to 60 degree.
Students, find the measure of angle X in each of the figures. Here M and N are parallel lines and L is the transversal which cuts the parallel lines at two distinct points. And here X degree and 35 degree. What about these angles? Yes, these angles are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are angles on the same side of the transversal where one angle is in the interior and another one is in the exterior. So then we can say that these angles, here also these angles are corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are equal. So since X degree and 35 degree are corresponding angles, so they are equal as we know earlier. So X degree is also equals the measurement of this angle which is 35 degree and here too. So M and N are parallel lines and L is the transversal and here 65 degree and X degree are corresponding angles. 65 lies outside the region and X lies interior in the interior region. So corresponding angles, these are corresponding angles. Since they are corresponding angles, they are equal. So X degree equal to 65 degree. Write down M and N are parallel lines and L is the transversal. X degree and 35 degree are corresponding angles and so they are equal. Therefore, x degree is equal to 35 degree. So, and also M and N are parallel lines and L is a transversal. X degree and 65 degree are corresponding angles. Since they are corresponding angles, they are equal. Therefore, x is equal to 65 degree. Third one, find the measure of angle y in each of the following figures. Here in this figure, M and N are parallel lines and L is a transversal. And here, what about these angles? Y and 28 degree. So, these two angles lies in the interior region, inside the parallel lines. So, these are interior angles and also they lies opposite to the transversal. So, Y and 28 degree are alternate, opposite interior angles. So, that is alternate interior angles. So, we know that alternate interior angles are equal. So, y is equal to 28 degree. Here, students, in this figure, M and N are parallel lines and L is a transversal. And here, what about these two angles? Y and 58 degree. So, here these two angles lies outside the parallel lines. That is exterior, in the exterior region. So, they are called as exterior angles and also they are opposite side of the transversal. So, opposite it means alternate. So, 58 degree and Y angles are alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles. We know that alternate exterior angles are also equal. So, Y degree is equal to 58 degree. Write down. M and N are parallel lines and L is the transversal. Then alternate interior angles are equal. Y is equal to 28 degree. And M and N are parallel lines and L is the transversal. Alternate exterior angles are equal. Therefore, Y is equal to 58 degree. Fourth one, find the measure of angle Z in each of the following figures. So, students, here M and N are two parallel lines and L is the transversal. And here Z and 31 degree. So, these two angles lies inside the parallel lines and inside the region, interior of the parallel lines and also same side of the transversal. So, interior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. Therefore, supplementary it means the sum of these two angles is equal to 180 degree. That is Z plus 31 degree is equal to 180 degree. Here we have to find the value of Z, the measurement of Z angle. So, Z is equal to 180 degree. Here this 31 degree becomes minus 31 degree on the other side. So, Z is equal to 180 degree minus 31 degree, which is 149 degree. So, the value of Z, the measurement of Z angle is 149 degree. So, students, in this figure, M and N are two parallel lines and L is the transversal. And here 79 degree and Z degree. So, these two angles lies outside of the parallel lines or exterior region. They lies in the exterior region. So, they are called as exterior angles and also they lies on the same side of the transversal or on the right hand side of the transversal. Since the exterior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal, they are supplementary. So, which means the sum of these two angles is equivalent to 180 degree. So, that is Z plus 79 degree is equal to 180 degree. So, Z is equal to 180 degree. Here this plus 79 degree becomes minus 79 degree in the right hand side. So Z is equal to, so when we subtract 79 from 180 degree, we get 101 degree. So the value of Z is 101 degree. Here in this figure, again M and N are two parallel lines and L is a transversal, and here Z and 22 degree. What about these two angles? Yes, these two angles lies exterior, in the exterior region or outside the parallel lines. So exterior means these two angles are called exterior angles. So, and also they lies on the same side of the transversal in the left hand side. So since exterior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal, they are equal to 180 degree, which are they are supplementary. So supplementary is the sum of these two angles, that is Z plus 22 degree is equal to 180 degree. So here we need to find the value of Z, the angle, the measurement of Z. So Z is equal to, when we bring 22 degree to the other side, it becomes minus 22 degree. So 180 degree minus 22 degree is 158 degree. So the value, the measurement of this angle is equal to 158 degree. Now students, let us find the value of A. And here M and N are two parallel lines and L is the transversal. And here 3A 126 degree, which are corresponding angles, because one angle is lying interior, in the interior of these two parallel lines, and one angle is in the outside, exterior of the parallel lines. And here 126 3A degree are corresponding angles. So we know that corresponding angles, two corresponding angles are equal. So 3A and 126 degree are equal. So we can equate these two angles. 3A is equal to 126 degree. So we need the value of A. So 3, which is in the product with A. So when it crosses the equal to sign, it becomes 1 by 3 on the right hand side. So A is equal to 126 divided by 3. So 126 divided by 3. When we divide 126 by 3, we get 42. So the value of A is equal to 42 degree. Here the second one, M and N are two parallel lines and L is the transversal of these two lines, and 4A plus 13 and 135 degree. So they are lie in the exterior, so and also on the same side of the transversal. So since they are in the exterior region, they are known as exterior angles, and also they lie on the same side of the transversal. We know that exterior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. So to find the value of A, we are going to use this condition. So supplementary, which means the sum of these two angles is equal to 180 degree. So the sum, it means addition of these two angles. So the one angle is 4A plus 13 plus the other angle is 135 degree is equal to 180 degree. So 4A plus 13 plus 135 degree is 148 degree is equal to 180 degree. So now in the next step, 4A is equal to 180 minus this plus 148 becomes minus 148 on the right hand side, and 148 we are subtracting 148 from 180, which is 32 degree. So 4a is equal to 32. So we have to find the value of a, not 4a. So a is equal to, so here this 4 becomes 1 by 4 on the right hand side, and 32 degree divided by 4 gives 8 degree. So the value of a is nothing but 8 degree. So students, here M and N are two parallel lines and L is the transversal which is perpendicular, which makes an angle 90 degree with these parallel lines to both the lines M and N. Therefore, we know that perpendicular, it means it makes an angle 90 degree. So we can equate 6a to 90 degree. So a is equal to 90. This 6 becomes 1 by 6 on the right hand side. When it crosses the equal to sign, it becomes 1 by 6. So 90 divided by 6 is 15 degree. Find the value of angle x in the following figure. Now students, here M and N are two parallel lines and L is the transversal, and here we have to find the value of x, and here the value of these angles are given. Two angles are 2x minus 15 and 3x plus 20 are given, and here these two angles lies outside the parallel lines or in the exterior region, so they called as exterior angles, and also on the same side of the transversal, on the right hand side of the transversal, which are called as co-exterior angles. So now we know that when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of exterior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. So by using this condition, now we are going to find the value of x. So students, write down M and N are parallel lines and L is the transversal. Exterior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. So which means supplementary, which means we have to add these two angles, then it will be equal to 180 degree. So 2x minus 15 plus 3x plus 20. So we have add these two values, and which is equal to 180 degree. And here 2x, 3x are like terms, and 2x plus 3x is 5x. And here minus 15 plus 20. 20 minus 15 is plus 5. And here is equal to 180 degree. So now we get 5x plus 5 is equal to 180 degree. Now 5x is equal to, here this plus 5 becomes minus 5 on the right hand side when it crosses the equal to sign. And 5x is equal to 180 minus 5 is 175 degree. Now we have to find the value of x. So x is equal to 175. Here the 5, when it crosses the equal to sign, it becomes 1 by 5. So 175 degree divided by 5, which gives 35 degree. When we divide 175 by 5, we get 35 degrees. So the value of x is 35 degree. Students, 7th one, Anbu has marked the angles as shown in the figures 1 and 2. Check whether both of them are correct. Give reason. So students, here the figures 1 and 2, Anbu has marked like this. So now let us check whether these are correct or not. Now in the first one, M and N are parallel lines and L is the transversal. Here 105, 75, these angles are interior angles because they lies between the parallel lines or in the interior region. And also here we know that these angles are called co-interior angles. Here 105 degree and 105 degree. So we know that two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. Each pair of interior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. So supplementary, it means when we add these two angles it equals 180 degree, and when we add these two angles it equals 180 degree. So now let's check whether it is equal to 180 or not. So here when we add 105 and 105 we get 210. So which is not equal to 180 degree. And when we add 75 degree and 75 degree we get 150, which is not equal to 180 degree. So here Anbu has marked the angles in wrong way. So angles are not correct. In this case, M and N are parallel lines and L is the transversal, and here these angles are called corresponding angles. So because when we take 60 and 120, so which is corresponding angles, and here 60 and 120 are corresponding angles because one angle lies inside the region and one lies in the exterior region. So corresponding angles, we know that corresponding angles are equal. It must be equal. So here 120 which is not equal to 60, and here also 120 which is not equal to 60. So here the marking is wrong.